Right. It does look like it is 7 o'clock, so we'll call this meeting to order. And if everyone would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Also, at the beginning of our meetings, we've been sharing the vision, core values, and beliefs and mission statement. And this month is the core values. We believe in instruction that is student-centered, effective, creative, engaging, and that teaches more than academic content. We believe in assessments that are authentic, meaningful, appropriate, and helpful in guiding students' futures in whatever vocation they choose. We believe in technology that enhances learning and enables education in varying environments and prepares students for current and future technological advances. We believe in facilities. We believe facilities should provide a safe, clean, and effective learning environment. And we believe in proper stewardship of resources that support sustainability, security, and effectiveness of our school district. All right, and our next agenda item is public comments on the return to in-person instruction plan. And it looks like we have a couple here signed up. Stacy Thompson.
Yeah, I want 2 minutes of a conversation. I don't want 2 minutes of talking. I don't think that we're that far off of the same page. I think we all want the same things. I think that we want the kids in school. I think we want them learning, but I think there's more ways than one to do it. I know there are things that are set forth by the state. I know there are those guidelines, but I also know there are other schools doing it other ways, and it's working. North Davies does not mask their kids. North Davies does not even contact trace. If their kids are sick and showing any signs or symptoms, they stay home. WRV, their kids got the option to opt out of masking. They just had to sign a waiver as a parent in order to make that happen. They are contact tracing still, so they are sending kids home if that's a problem. And there's they've got a couple different stipulations in there. So there are multiple ways to do that. And I think that we're being very short-sighted on doing it just one way. And so I don't think, like I said, I don't think we're off on opposite ends of the world on this. I think we want the same thing. I just think that we need to explore better ways to do it. Give our kids the opportunity to explore those ways. If you want to make a difference in these kids' lives, if you want to make a difference and be the school board or the school district rather, that has those kids who come in because you have something better to offer, give them the opportunity to make the difference. Use that project-based learning to let them do that. Let them prove the science behind one way or another. Let them be the ones who have a voice in what they're doing. This is their life. This is their weeks. This is their days. They're the ones who want to see people's faces. And I think there's a way that we can make that happen and still keep kids in school and still keep them safe.
Okay. And I believe it's Addison.
My name is Addison Thompson. I have been a student at Bloomfield since the beginning of the year. I actually came to Bloomfield because I wanted the socialness of Bloomfield. and I still get that with the mask, I won't lie. But it's harder. It's harder for me to make a connection with you right now. Because I don't know if you like me. Are you smiling?
I do.
I can't tell.
He always looks so grouchy.
But you're missing my point. The point is, are you caring about us? Multiple kids walk these hallways every day. Multiple people will hide behind their masks. I've looked at kids, and the second that they take their mask down, they break into tears. That's not okay. And it's because they're hiding. And I'm looking at you, and you're hiding. You're hiding behind the statements of, it's for the best. Let us make our decisions. We're America. We are the next generation. I could have gotten more people to come, I guarantee it. But you've scared them. Do you want to raise America to be scared, Or do you want to raise them to stand strong? And I ask that you will give us that decision. That you will let us stand up for what we believe in. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and seeing no other public comments, we will go with the student of the month. And start with the elementary.
All right. I was supposed to have two student of the month today, but I don't think Mela made it. I don't see it anywhere. So her mom was torn between kids playing ball and trying to get here. So we'll try to get here next month. She was our November student of the month. But Mia Evans is here. So Mia, come on up. Mia is a first grader. Mia is a first grader from Mrs. Neal's class, and she is the, I'm gonna mess this up, I think. What's your mom and dad's name? I had the names the same from both of them. And Vanessa is here, and Tucker is here as well, right? When I said your names earlier, you said Vanessa, and I didn't realize I had written down the wrong dad's name. You're supposed to proofread me better than this. So we asked a few questions. Now you have two sisters. Who are your sisters? Ava and Zoe. You like them? You like them? Good answer. All right. Favorite subject in school? Reading's a good answer. You said art, but reading's a good answer. Like them all, that's right. I asked her what her favorite hobby was, because I had to explain what a hobby was, and she said going to urban air. So I don't know how much mom and dad take in urban air, but it has become a hobby now. Favorite food? Tacos. There you go. Can't go wrong with tacos. What she likes best about Bloomfield, she said the school. She just likes school. That's awesome. Favorite color? Blue. All right. You're doing all right. Favorite movie or TV show? Do you remember what you told me? Because you have a few of them. Tom and Jerry. We all appreciate Tom and Jerry. There you go. Mia's teacher says about Mia that Mia is a true joy to have in class. Her drive to try her best is amazing. She is always kind to others and very helpful in class too. Those are awesome words. Yeah. Awesome words. Mia, I have a plaque for you, student of the month plaque for you. Guys, Mia Evans. And Mom, if you want to come up, and we're going to take pictures of her over here, and we'll let Mr. Oh, it is over there. Okay.
Great job.
We're going to go this way, Mia. Starting off real well, guys. All right, we ready? Smile for me. 1, 2, 3. I really am. All right, Mr. Dean, I'm going to turn that one over to you now.
Okay, so we had two students of the month. This month, December, was seniors and 7th graders. So my senior is Mackenzie Plummer, but she is swimming tonight at Edgewood, no, Martinsville. So she told me, she said, unless it got canceled, she would be, did not get canceled, so she will, we'll have her here in January. And so I'll go through Mackenzie's stepped in. But I do have my 7th grade student of the month here, and that is Reagan Baker. Reagan, come on. Reagan, as I said, is in 7th grade here at Bloomfield Middle School. Her favorite food, we're going to go down through here. Her favorite food is Pizza Hut pizza. All right. I said, you know, what clubs, teams, programs, groups are you involved with? Did I have that right? Because I'm seeing that I got names here, and then I'm seeing so okay, but on this next one, okay. So the clubs, teams, programs, and groups that she's involved with, and she's in student council, the Harry Potter Club, and choir. She's a member of Center Stage, correct? All right, very good. Let me cruise on here to the next one. All right, I said her hobbies. She likes to draw. She does fun crafts at home, and sometimes she reads in her free time. All right, what kind of stuff do you like to read? Just anything? Come on. Program here. Her favorite subject, she says, one of my favorite subjects is math, because I really understand how to do it, and my math teacher explains the problems really well when I don't understand. And your math teacher would be Miss Miller. All right, Miss Miller, very good. What do you like most about Bloomfield Middle and High School, and middle school in Reagan's case? Okay, I like the bond that the students have with staff members due to how much we see them. Is this right? Okay. See, my form is getting flip-flopped back and forth there. She says, what I like most about Bloomfield Middle High School is the teachers and how they teach, right? All right, congratulations, Reagan. Well done. Okay. Just one handshake doesn't matter right there. Congratulations. You get in there, Greg? No. Great job. You were right. I got it. All right, congratulations, Reagan. Good job. Good job. Reagan, you know, you kind of, when I send that out, of course, the teachers nominate, and they nominate, you know, more than one student gets nominated before they vote. Reagan had a half a dozen nominations. Speaks pretty good volume right there of what kind of a student she is. Yeah. So congratulations, Reagan.
So I invite everybody to stay for the rest of the meeting, but the fun stuff's over with. So if you have to leave or want to go to the girls' game, you're more welcome to. We'll pause for just a second, but like I said, you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting.
Okay.
You got it?
Congratulations. See you guys.
Hey, guys.
Good to see you.
Cleared out everybody.
All right. So we will continue with recognitions from the elementary school.
All right, does it matter if I stay back here or, okay. So a few things here, of course, you know, always go over our character trait winners. We had some there at the end of the month. November.
Come on.
Okay,
Nothing going on, don't worry about it.
so this is kind of recognitions for our November character traits. Trustworthiness, our character drawing winners were Audrey Hill, Kaylee Anderson, Briella Manning, Paige Dreisbach, Johnny Amos, Josie Hassler, Keegan Hendricks, and Evie Nicholson. And then perseverance for this month, we had 4, and then tomorrow we draw 4 more. And so we had Bailey Thornton, John Fields, Ellie Helms, and Demetrius Heron. One of the things I really enjoy sometimes with our character trait program is sometimes we get kids that have been into the office a little too much, if you know what I mean, right? And so I know them very well. But it's really nice to see that our teachers are still looking for the positive things that they're doing in the school and then rewarding them. And we had a few that over the last few months here that their names got drawn. And I just can't help but think that's going to make a positive impact on them. And one of them, who again has been in office for a lot of reasons, none of them good. One of the choices they have on one of their character tickets that they can win is lunch with the principal. And he chose it. We're like, what? You spent lots of lunches with me. But it was nice because we were able to sit there and have a normal conversation. I could ask him about his likes and things he likes to do and his friends and his family. And it was a great conversation. And it's another reason why I like doing this type of stuff with these kids. And hopefully it made an impact on him as well, but it definitely did on me as far as that goes. I do want to recognize, I call them the Helms twins, Laura Helms and Katie Helms. They put on a great Christmas concert. 3rd grade, 5th grade, Joyful Noise. I laughed because during the day they did a teaser for the school, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle. And I was like, "Ooh, this is going to be good tonight, right?" And we got here, and it was. It was amazing, the transformation in just a couple hours and how well that those kids brought it together. And I was like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I don't want to shortchange either one of the teachers because I'm sure, and I know they had some parent helpers that sure were putting in some time in between those two sessions to get some of that shored up. But they really was just a complete 180, and they did a great job. I also want to recognize Kim Hill, our counselor. She's also our high ability coordinator as well. And she puts in a ton of work trying to get all the testing done and retests and with kids in and out of school. I mean, it's constant trickle. So she worked really hard to try to get all that done before the end of the semester so that we can get them sent off and get them scored and get those back pretty quickly in January. So we want to really recognize her for all her hard work. Same thing with her and Susan Street. They lead our Christmas outreach program where they collect, I can't tell you how many, just clothes and other items for families in our area that need some additional assistance. And I didn't ask them how many families they served this year, but I know it took them 3 days to get it all handed out. And we gave them the rooms downstairs, and the parents would come around that end there. So they spent the last 3 days down there working with people, and I went down there and kind of watched it, and I know the people that I saw coming out were very grateful, and you could tell they were really, and that's just, I think it's an awesome program, and I don't know who helped them start it, but I know they run it, and they do a phenomenal job, so I want to recognize both of them for all their efforts. Aaron Raper and Christy Berger attended the Indiana Association of Gifted Conference. We're still on high ability, so one of the things we do in our grant is we say we're going to continually train our teachers and stuff to go to these conferences and to learn as much as they can to help the students that need that. And sometimes, and I'm sure if any of you in here have been to conferences, sometimes you get into some that are really good, and sometimes you're like, I'm never getting that 8 hours back, right? And so I was pleasantly not surprised, but I was glad to hear when they came back, they were both excited. They had picked up several things. She shared a few things with me, and they have they even want to at our next faculty meeting when we get back from winter break. They want to lead the faculty meeting, and they want to go over the stuff that they've learned. So they're going to share it with their peers. And that's what it's about. I mean, that's why you go to these conferences, and to learn things, to bring them back and share them with the other educators. And so we're all on the same page, and we're all doing the same things to help our students. So very excited about that. I was really glad it was a great conference, and they've been talking about it all week about the things that they've learned. And of course, there's a lot of things they want me to get for them to help them out. That's a different conversation, but they're excited. And I love that. Our student council and Miss Stephanie Hill collected right around 120 toys that they rounded up and took to Riley Hospital. Again, more volunteer work, more helping community, and we do. I feel like junior and senior high also do a great job of that here at Bloomfield. something to be very proud of. Cardinal Connection volunteers, Miss Jenny Medina has kind of taken the lead role on that. And we're trying to get parents back in the building as best we can. I know we got the COVID rules, we got all this other stuff going on, but we're trying to find ways to get them back in the building. And we've got more than a couple parent volunteers that are coming in. They're just donating an hour here or an hour there to sit and help us with small groups and help students that need that help. And so I'm excited about getting that off the ground and just getting going on that. And just the parents that I've worked with have been great. And so kudos to her for kind of taking the lead role on that. Not being afraid to step out there and organize that for us. Also, Mason McEwen, if you haven't heard, Miss Ross, a few years back, got into this program called Art Sonia. And basically what they do is they create art projects, they submit it, and then you can go on and you can order stuff with your students, art projects that they created. But Mason was selected for a competition, basically, and you can vote for him and all that. And he ended up finishing second place. And he's excited about that, and I'm excited for him. That's pretty big, not just here, it's all over, I assume not even just the state. I didn't ask Mrs. Ross, but several states, yeah, that's what I assumed. So that's a pretty good thing. So I guess I should congratulate the community as well, because it took a lot of us to vote for him also, right? So people had to be engaged and willing to help the student out, and for him to finish second with that many states involved, it's a testament to our community as well. We run some other contests for the holidays. I told you last month we did the gobble off, right? And basically we have them. They do it in a classroom. They get a classroom winner, and then we bring them down. They do it over the PA system, and they get a grade level winner, and then we bring the 6th grade levels down, and we do what I call the contest of champions. And then the next day we'll bring them in. I think for the gobble off, they have a turkey they have to wear on their head. And for the elf contest, they have an elf hat and they have to wear, and they get other prizes as well. And then tomorrow we will name the Santa winner, and they have to wear the Santa hat and that kind of stuff. And so they'll get prizes as well and certificates. Our elf contest winner was a 1st grader from Mrs. Neal's class, Nolan Strange. And I thought that was pretty cool because a lot of times the older kids win this stuff. They really do. But we had some younger ones win it this time. Our Santa contest winner was Clara Fleetwood. And I thought that was really cool. She was Clara, it's hard. Like my mission all year with Clara, when she comes in and she walks across that crosswalk, is just get her to say hi to me. Like I'm like in her face about it, right? I mean, just all the time. And I finally got her to where she'll do that sometimes, right? So when they said that she was they're going to be their contest, their contestant, I was like, okay, she won't do this. But buddy, she was all about it. So I'm really excited that she won. So she doesn't know that yet, so don't anybody tell her. Okay? It'll happen in the morning. But I did want to share that with you guys. I also want to commend our ROTC program, Chief Holtberg and Lieutenant Commander Lemons. They took on the task of collecting items for the tornado relief project, which I think was the group that Aqua Logistics from Winton were the ones that reached out. But they had a really short time to do this. And I don't know how much stuff. I know he sent a picture, and the hallway up here was just loaded. I know the ROTC kids came down to the elementary a dozen times throughout the day and just kept taking stuff. And so
I can tell you, Emily is going down there tomorrow night. She and Blake Birch are going to be leaving to stay in Mayfield to help. She's been traveling and delivering stuff over there as well, and she told me that their whole facility and the garage in the back is full.
wow.
She said it was amazing how fast, how much in such a short amount of time.
Well, I know their goal is to take 2 semi-loads.
I think they've got
items. And from what I saw, they may need more. I mean, there was a lot. It's really cool. I mean, like I said, it was such a short turnaround. I didn't know how it would work, but from the looks of it, it went really well. And so kudos to those guys in the ROTC program for taking that on and doing such a great job with it. Also, you know, we are really blessed around here with businesses that will help donate to the kids. I know last year when we did our end of the year bash for our character trait program, we were able to give almost 400 prizes away to students. I mean, that is a lot of donations that we get. This year, our title program was giving out Christmas presents, and you know, one of the businesses at Seasons Greetings up here just went above and beyond, and so I want to recognize them for helping our students out. They did more than we anticipated or even expected, and so I know our title program leaders, Jessica Lauderdale and Shannon Dean, were excited about that as well. So just wanted to do a shout out to them and to Shannon and Jessica for leading that charge as well. Today, actually, Bloomfield American Legion came in and they presented our fourth graders with certificates and rewards for participating in the Flag Awareness Test Contest. So, Flag Awareness Test Contest, I think I said that right. And so Larry Dent and Jacob Blackmore came in. They presented all of our fourth grade students, because everybody took part in it, with a coupon from Dairy Queen. So thank you to Dairy Queen as well. I think it was for a mini blizzard. And then we had a top boy and a top girl who, because they won the contest, they move on to the district level. I don't know what you win or anything like that yet, but their names have been submitted to the district level, so they're going through that contest as well. And so they let them know who they were and what would come next, and they got a $25 Dairy Queen gift card as well. So again, community, you know, stepping up and really making things exciting for our kids. Our two winners, by the way, were Joe Mullis from Miss Van Dieven's class and Ellie Fig from Miss Regina's class. So it blesses my heart. It really does to see just the interaction of our community in our school. We have a really good connection there, and I appreciate it, and the kids appreciate it. I know the teachers appreciate it. So just want to reach out and just say, you know, I appreciate it, and thank you to our community.
Thank you. Okay, on the junior senior high side, of course, we have our senior students of the month. We've got those. Big news came our way yesterday. Actually, it came our way earlier in the week, but we had to sit on it for a couple days. And that is that senior Christopher Royal was the recipient of the 2022 Lilly Scholarship here in Greene County. That's a big deal. I want to say it was 2014, our last Lilly recipient. So Christopher, congratulations. I mean, you know, had the interview process, had to write 2 different essays, really put the time and effort, and it's not just academics, it's, you know, based on merit, you know, grades are part of it, but it's also interviewing and interpersonal skills. It's also community service, workforce. It comprises all of those. So we were excited for Christopher, for his family. I believe that Christopher's plans are to go to Wabash. I believe he's going to run track up there, and I don't think he anticipated going where Turner went, but I think he's fallen in love with the place. So we're happy for Christopher. It's an accomplishment for sure. We had 4 juniors that were recognized as Indiana Rising Juniors in the state academically. That is Peter Combs, Cole Skinner, Hank Scott, and Adeline Weisman. Mike, some of these things I'm going to just reiterate what Mike said. We had a great Christmas concert that was put on, you know, by Laura and Katie, and you know, by the band and the choir groups. So they did a great job. Of course, for the middle school and high school, it takes place on Sunday, and then the elementary continues on there for the following Monday. Mike also mentioned the Gifted and Talented Conference. Jessica Fowl and Marie Carazia attended for the middle school and the high school, and came back sharing the same sentiments about the speakers that they were able to listen to and hear, and we'll be presenting to our staff. Mike mentioned the ROTC unit, such a short turnaround. Commander Lemons and Chief Holtberg, you know, really got the kids. Tonight they did their first all-female color guard, right? And so they've got the program, you know, in order to continue with our program, we have to meet a certain percentage of our student body, right? It's always, some years, you know, it's little leaner in others, and I was kind of at, with, you know, the numbers have been increasing in the ROTC, and they've got a great, you know, got 2 great leaders there, and I'm really excited about that. And they just take on, you know, at the end of the year, they'll have over, you know, upwards of 2,500 to 3,000 community service hours. And so that's not just, you know, a handful of kids, you know, it's spread out over, you know, 25 to 30, and they're fantastic. And so, great job. I saw an email earlier. I didn't have a chance to put it in here. So, and we've gotten the results from the air rifle competition, and they did very well. So I'll put that in January when we have that. I just want to mention the athletic program. You know, we're into the winter sports, and so you know, all grades on our end, 6 through 12, and the basketball, McKenzie swimming. They are going full steam there. They've all been competing and doing well. The boys basketball team's off to a pretty solid start. One individual, you know, Balin Graff, reaching his 1,000th point. That's a nice milestone there. Pretty early in the season. And Balin, I coached him from, you know, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, and he's always had an knack of putting the ball in the basket. And so, you know, it's just carried over. So happy for Balin. Now the next goal, of course, would be for the sectional and moving on into the things. So I know they're looking forward to that. Our middle school has their monthly celebration tomorrow. Their monthly character was being independent, and we've got a dozen students that we're going to recognize for that, and then those will go into a hat, and we'll draw for a winner to get a blizzard tomorrow, and I'll get that to them for lunch. And then we also have our quarter in celebration, and that, you know, constitutes no discipline referrals, good attendance, fewer than 3 missing assignments, and they constitute that way. And they're going to watch Christmas movies. They voted on the movie they're going to watch, and they're going to watch that in the cafeteria tomorrow, pretty much all morning there when they have that. We have a final tomorrow, 5th period. Everybody's done well with that. We just, you know, close it up here. We've had a really good first semester, and really happy with how things have gone. You know, we've had to adjust, of course, you know that, and we've had to, you know, make adjustments along the way. But you know, it's been a good, you know, with the building project and everything that we're dealing with. I feel like the first semester has gone pretty well. We've got more changes coming in the second semester as far as like what's going to be required. This will look different, you know, about spring break. And so this area, what I'm pointing to right here, if you noticed, made a lot of visual progress on the building. I'm not taking Winifred's part here. She knows a lot more than I do. But every time I look out my window, you know, I've had guys looking me right in the face when they're welding and stuff like that. You know, so exciting.
Thank you. All right, now to the consent agenda.
Okay, we got the meeting minutes from our November board meeting there for approval. The treasurer's report, appropriation statements, funds, personnel. There, did you? No. Okay. All right, so got our personnel, have some resignations, and we have retirement. And so I just want to thank Cecilia Top, who has served this school really well. She has decided to retire. Kind of just, Dave, you know, Cecilia was that last week, she made that decision official. So a little surprise for us, but she's ready to do this. And so she has served our school well, and want to recognize that as well. And then, so personnel there, we got ECA athletic positions as well. We won't read all those names. Field trips, we got an overnighter with the ROTC, and then we got an out of state that we need approval for. And then donations, I want to thank Aaron's Purpose for a donation to the Agape Club. I want to thank Crane, NWC Navy Ball Committee for a donation to the ROTC. So thank you for donating. to Bloomfield. And so those are the 5 categories of the consent agenda. Any questions?
All right, seeing none, can I have a motion to approve?
A motion we approve.
And a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now to other business. And our first topic is update on the construction project.
All right.
We got our architect from KRM, Wendy Williams here. Thanks for being here. She's got the board up there.
Yeah. I'll go over here and scroll through the. So thanks again for allowing me to come today and kind of give you guys an update. It's been a while since we've talked to you guys here, but just wanted to say overall, it's going really great. I think we've got a really top-notch contractor, and you guys as a staff and just everyone we're working with, Jessica, everybody, just answer questions right away. You know, everything that we need, you guys are there to give it to us. So just love working with you guys. That doesn't happen all the time when we work with different schools and universities. So just want to kind of give an update on the schedule. Like Mr. Dean was saying, it's starting to, the skeleton of the addition is starting to come to life, if you will. So basically they put up the steel infrastructure. And so I think someone noticed that the slab was being poured on the gym floor. And then you're going to start seeing CMU block going up. And then so in the next couple of months or so, you're going to start seeing the actual skin of the building being put on. And so it's interesting with construction projects, it kind of ramps up and you're like, oh, they're doing what? And then all of a sudden you're like, what's going on? Well, it's happening all inside. You can't see it. So first of all, we got to get the skin wrapped and on, and we get a roof, get our mechanicals, and then we start kind of building the walls and stuff in there. So again, it seems like we've been doing this, we did this back in February. So phase 1, of course, was the elementary, and that was a whirlwind project at the best. But I think overall it turned out really well. There's a few floors that we're gonna have to redo because sometimes when you're rushing, things get quality right there. So part of our job is to look at the quality and make sure you get what you pay for. So there's a few restrooms where we're gonna have to redo that. And then I guess you'll start seeing the build out happening in February, March, and then Mr. Riggleman's favorite subject is his canopy.
Right.
Front of the elementary, and that's gonna happen in June of this year, next year, so. I apologize, I don't usually use these things. But you can kind of see, this is your elementary, this is your middle school, and your art and cafeteria area, and that's your high school. Again, some of our priorities from the very beginning was safety, accessibility, and just, you know, making sure that we have the best possible addition and renovation. So it takes a while to kind of adjust, but to kind of go and review a little bit of some of the site plan of what we're doing. We've got South Street right here where your elementary is. And then we've got a new north-south access point, which will be a one-way going plan north here. And your high school's here, and then your addition here is in red. So that's kind of where, so we're sitting right about right here right now. And so we're adding all this parking. Some of the updates to this that aren't shown here, but one of the things we added was an access point on this side of the building. So we have access here where this is the student parking. And then this is going to be, we're going to have a walkway down to here where the elementary kids will be able to play with basketball hoops down there, and then an access point for driving going in there. Any questions about the site plan or anything? So the exciting things that are happening that you can, again, start seeing the skeleton of our multi-purpose space here is happening right now. And so basically you're going to have this great new entryway into the high school, secure entryway that's clearly marked, and a really nice wide 18-foot wide hallway for when you come in. It's going to be really dynamic. And then you got your multi-purpose space here, and then all the secure offices for the high school, and then extending the media center. So the media center is going to be basically all brand new. I think some of these stacks are going to stay, but flooring, new ceiling, new paint, new everything. Again, this is your gym. Any questions about this here? What's going on right now is the renovation of the middle school lockers. So in the middle school lockers, I don't know if you guys have ever been in there, but they were not ADA accessible. Now they are. Right now we've repainted all the existing lockers that were basically in good shape. They're just kind of dull. So we repainted them red. We took the restroom that was not accessible and made it accessible. And we took the showers that were just kind of a big gang open shower. We're turning those into 2 changing stations for different students. New seating on there and all new poured epoxy flooring. And then there were some it used to be like offices and just kind of cobbled. We took that all out, made a nice wide space so that you can have offices on one end and storage on the other. So just making it a lot more usable. And that's going, and I think it's not quite done, but it's almost done. But fastball season happens. So we're gonna put in a pause of that.
Yeah.
It's usable right now. That's right. And then some of the things that will be happening is the ag area. Right now, the only way to get to the ag classroom and the shop is to go outside. So we are creating a space close to where the ROTC room is. We're taking over a storage room, and it's going to become a ramp down. You have lots of levels in this nice facility here. And this one was built on a completely different level. So we're connecting that to everything to a ramp. Just want to give an update. So as some of the things that we were fortunate to do is get some ESSER money. And through that ESSER money, what we're doing is we're going to focus on your existing kitchen and serving space. And so we started that process up. We just had our first couple meetings. So we as architect have a sub-consultant who's just a food designer expert. So they've started and they've talked with Marie and really looking at how can we best, the kitchen is all about, you don't want to take too many steps in order to serve the students. And then also, so that's the back of the house, right? And then in your serving space, creating a nice, inviting, more modern experience for the students to go through and see really good, healthy choices for food. And so that is just at the beginning of the design of that. We worked on it a little bit, and then we're just reinvigorating that design. So that is going to be bid out here in the next couple months, and that will happen over the summer. So a lot of stuff's going to be happening in the summer. Any questions about that?
Well, I just wanted to point out that Marie met with the designer, I think it was last week. Actually,
Yeah.
And tweaking some things for her purposes, how she wants it, since she's the cafeteria director. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trying to listen to everything because you guys are the ones using it. So here's a cool, we're working, not only do you have us as the architects and engineers looking at your project, you also have an owner's rep with Kramer, and they're doing a fantastic job. They've got an aerial drone that takes these cool pictures for us. And I think even a time lapse, I don't know if you guys have seen all that, but it's kind of cool. This is your gym right now, like the media center is right here where we're standing. And then this is your new multi-purpose space. And then you kind of see already that road that we kind of pointed out before that's going here. And then all the parking, that'll be for the students down there. So there's a lot happening. They're still having the access for food service back here. So we're still kind of functioning somewhat back here where the back of house needs, but really most of the spaces obviously knows you can't pick up the kids in here anymore after practice. This is just another view of it. So your slope, your site slopes down this way towards kind kind of that area down here with a wooded area. And so, like, this is obviously really high, it comes down, so this is gonna be one level, and then your parking will be on another level down there. And there'll be access points and a safe sidewalk all along down here, and a new, so you kind of see right here, if I can do that. This is the new ramp system where students will be dropped off, for the elementary to be able to get up and get into the elementary, either through here or they're going up that way. All right. And then I think we had some before and after shots of the South Street, this is the elementary, the E-wing here, so it's your playground kind of before, and then flipped around, it's your playground now. Okay, so some of the things that we wanted to kind of talk to you about was the exterior shots of, again, this is your new multi-purpose space, your new clear entryway to your middle school and high school. And then this whole block is the new high school offices. And you'll notice right here that we've got light all around here. So that hallway is going to be full of natural light as it comes in. And some of these other shots here, again, it's all the same brick that matches throughout your whole facility. And these are insulated metal panels that are in the multi-purpose space. And we got a big bank of windows right here that you'll be able to see into that space. So at night it'll be real nice and light and you'll be able to see in. And then a shot from that parking or bus lane, as we call it. And then this is a shot of the interior space. If you're walking into it, you're going into the rest of the high school here, and then your main office, we got a career area here, and then you do entry into the media center. And so what you'll see here is the interior shot. So again, it's a really tall space, and we've got really nice terrazzo floors here that match the rest of your high school. Really, what we're proposing is putting some graphics in here. And so we as a team have hired a really talented graphics team to help us kind of imagine what these spaces could look like. So we as architects have created the space, the shell of the space, working with them to really bring that to life. And so this was one of their first initial ideas of what this space could look like in here. And I know, like, what we've actually just recently created a task team to really kind of look at the high school. And then Mr. Dean, you were on that. We actually met this week.
Yeah, we
with
met,
the graphics.
yeah, met on Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, to really try to vet out what kind of designs are going to stick and what isn't. So again, on the interior, as you turn around, as you're going into that multi-purpose space, this was their first initial crack at what this space might look like. But it doesn't necessarily mean how it's going to land that way. And so it's kind of like design, you do one and a couple different versions, and then it lands where it wants to land. So these two images I was showing you are still in flux. We don't know exactly how that's going to land. But we have talked a lot about, this is the elementary entry. So this is the new canopy. This is where the old superintendent's office was, and the elementary office. What we are wanting to do is kind of paint home and the Cardinals there. And I think that the task team really liked being able to light this up at night. And there will be lights underneath the canopy that you don't see here.
So Mr. Riggleman wants to know, is it going to be named Mr. Riggleman Canopy?
I concur.
Wow. I'm just curious. Is that in the budget? I knew you didn't want to ask,
You can carve your
Appreciate
name
it. Thank you for your
in
help.
one of these piers and we'll put right
Will the canopy come all the way out to the room?
It won't come all the way out to the road, but almost to the road. So about 3/4 of the way. We've got quite a bit of slope going down there. So if we don't want to do this where you kind of knock people's heads. So we have to be able to have that as much of a way as possible to get right in there. It comes out to about like where that retaining wall is on the right-hand side. If you ever go back there, it'll probably come out to about where that is, where the playground is up above. So I know there was some conversation about how long will these things last, and you know, they're not, like, this paint isn't meant to last forever. And because no matter what I do, I've been doing this for 20 years or so. You do stuff, you're like, oh, why did I do that? It just kind of uglies out after a while. So the opportunity for that to change over time, has that opportunity. You can change that out anytime throughout the future as well too, over the course of many years. But the canopy is going to stay the same. That won't change. It's real basic, and but it's the fun things like your graphics and your signage that are kind of telling of the time. Sometimes you see signage that's from the 60s, or something like that. So kind of like your sign that's out there right now. And I think that's it. I did want to kind of show you sometimes it's kind of interesting to see what other schools are doing. So this is a school that we did. It was a remodel, and we kind of addressed, it was, they were the Pirates, so it's kind of fun to do some interesting things. So we did those bollards out there. And then right now we're working with Greencastle schools. And, we're putting an elevator here. It's gonna be a giant G right here. And we got a canopy, and their colors are purple. So we're gonna put purple in there. This is their sports center that we're kind of adding that to. And again, I want to, we're working with this sign company, and they really are fantastic if you trust them. They really bring things to life. So this is Hampton Heights. This is going into their sports space. So it's similar to ours where we've got this really tall space, but they were able to put all these graphics here, and it just really kind of brings that space. We brought several superintendents through space, and they're like, wow, and that's what we want, is that wow factor. It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, but it just gives you that edge. And so there's just another shot. I don't know, maybe we have an angry cardinal eye. So that's all I got for, I don't know if you guys have any more thoughts, but we did meet, and I think that the team really liked this as an exterior. And this would be like a vinyl graphic that would be applied to this. And it will last, our graphics team said it will last about 10 years, 8 to 10 years on there. So quite a long time. It's not forever, but
I thought he said it's painted.
it's painted.
Didn't he say that? I don't want to disagree with your
Yeah.
architect, but
I think they said that,
last
when, at that time, you're talking about touch-ups then, about.
Yeah. that they're making some touch-ups.
I know we're definitely painting the exterior of elementary.
I think they said the lettering would be about 3 foot, about 36 inches, right in that. Yeah.
Any comments or thoughts on any of this? I know these things are, it's definitely a change from where you are now. Right now, it's really hard to tell where the front entry is. Never been here before, but we had the bid opening. We had people over here when they should have been over there. I think it's going to be really clear where the new entry points are for your middle school and junior high, as well as your elementary, and just build that school pride as the students come in over the years and have the ability to change as well too. So
I really like the look of the exterior. My only concern was the longevity, but it sounds like that's pretty typical, I think, maybe 10 years time.
yeah.
Well, he described it, it's like your house, it's going to be similar to your house paint, that you're after X amount of years, there's going to be some touch-ups. He said around 10.
But then at the time of the touch-ups, do we just hire the touch-ups out to, or who's responsible for touch-ups?
Same.
I mean,
graphics.
and he's the same company or?
I think Troy. will get
I know
up
that's a
there.
high school.
For the now.
You get up there and get that all straightened up for us.
Give him the extra paint.
I'll run the lift. We'll see if we can do
Yes. Well, I think that's a great point. I mean, what we'll do is give you guys a binder of like, here's all the finishes, here's all the colors that we use from Sherwin-Williams. And here's the carpet that we use, here's the, the mix of the terrazzo that we're using. So you have this playbook, if you will, if you had to go back. Of course, some shades and things like that. But I think any painting contractor or graphics team will be able to kind of touch up anything of this. And it's really a low dollar, high impact that really just can accentuate, give you guys some characters and definition to the school. So, and you're definitely going to see it as you come into town. So, well, we're excited. It's not easy to go through a construction project at all, and we want it done right away. I was talking to the contractors. Empire contractors are out of the Evansville area, and they're geared up to finish and try to finish on time. We're in this weird, we've said this like for everything, right? But building materials are going through some weird things where like you order things, they just don't even show up. So they're really trying their hardest to order as much and everything that they possibly can in order for us to get there. But it's an adventure for sure. But I can't say enough how great it is to work with Bluefield community. It's a lot of fun. Any other questions or comments? No?
I appreciate the update.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So again, the contractors are focusing on finishing up the middle school and lockers, and then again, really working over here. So basically, the high school office upstairs, again, is going to become more of the central office where superintendent's office is going to be. So again, that's going to happen towards in the summertime. But we will be taking over this space. I don't know if that's been officially decided or not.
Break.
Spring break time.
We're probably putting the library on the lower stage.
Yeah.
From spring break to the end.
Not fun, but it's temporary.
Jessica's gonna check out books.
Joke there. Can I direct them to your office? Professional experience.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you, Weatherford.
Yeah, it really is a great opportunity.
And you're great to work with also.
Oh,
You've had to exhibit, just great patience with me. You worked up and all that. So it's fun to do.
yeah, the other thing I didn't mention was budget. Like, we're right on budget. You guys bid at almost the best, it's like the best time. Where contractors were still hungry for work and the prices were still low, and now the prices are going high, and you just hit the jackpot, so. And there's still several, I looked at the change orders. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like, there's bound to be changes that happen because it's an intense remodel. And we're only at just a little over 2% of change orders for the unforeseen. So, what?
What's normal?
So normal, like we say for the length of the whole project, is a good project is about 5%. So we're just over 2, and the biggest changes that you'll see is when it comes to site work. You run into bad soil and you have to dig up a bunch of soil, or you find, things that aren't, you can't see because it's underground. So we're really coming up out of the ground, so we're really out of the danger zone for like really high change orders. And so we're really pleased with that. And again, it's a testament to us working together as well as Empire, the contractor, just seeing it not doing the work and then saying, oh, whoops, it's wrong, they're really great at kind of sneaking things ahead of time. So, anyway, I could talk all night.
Well, the change
Probably
orders
gonna
where
get
she had to read it down.
All right. Yeah. Okay, continuing on with other business, proposal to increase substitute cafeteria worker and substitute custodian rates.
Yes, so our rates were just too low for, to get sub cafeteria workers and sub custodians. And we Stacy asked around, what's a kind of a better rate that's more competitive, and those are those changes that you have there in the packet. Any other questions on that?
Okay, seeing none, can I have a motion, please?
Real quick.
Oh, okay, no, it's,
The question, I guess, how do we go about getting that information out to people, potential substitutes, or what do we do on that?
I think it's more when we need them. We have people we know, and they'll be more apt to do it.
I mean, so, same with
Can we-
teachers.
Yeah. We're having people say, I can't, I'm not gonna do that for $8 or for what it was, so.
Well, I mean, we're going with that, people know right now
Right.
what we pay, if you want to encourage more.
Can it be
people to step
something we
up.
can advertise? Like, I mean, if we're looking for subs, can we not advertise that on our page and let them know what we're hiring subs at? Because if you don't know, you don't know. I mean,
We have a list of people that are willing, I believe, and I think some of them weren't because of the, hopefully they will be now. We don't need subs a whole lot.
I guess that was what I was thinking more about the teachers.
okay, do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now, proposal for a substitute teacher.
Yeah, we, kind of the same story there with sub teachers. Again, we were $75 a day with the sub permit. We're gonna bump that up to 80 per day, which is, on the higher end of around here. We want to be that, so it's easier to get substitute teachers. And then if you got a license, it's 90. And if you were a former BSD teacher, it's 100. Licensed teacher. That, the 100 isn't changing, but we're increasing the 75 and adding the teaching license 190.
Is there any questions, comments?
I have a question about the background checks that are required.
Mhm.
So they're kind of expensive from what I hear. And is there any incentive, I guess, to any way to get that reimbursed, or because that's almost a full day's pay? Just a thought. I know
We
it's
can
been a
look-
hang up for some people.
But we can look into that.
Thought.
Pay a portion of it possibly, or it's not. And I can check on that. I didn't check on that.
Or maybe when you fill in for so many days that
There you go.
we reimburse you
That would be my
Yeah.
suggestion.
to get them to come in to sub, and then we reimburse them that money.
Yeah,
Get
like
it
if
coming
they
back.
come 8 days, or,
Good idea.
maybe
Yeah.
they could potentially, or even reimburse like $5 at a time for each, I don't know, just different ideas, but.
I think it's a good thing to look into.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
All right, and a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. All in favor? All right. And proposal to increase instructional assistant teacher rates.
Yeah, so kind of the same deal here as you start looking at what we pay, and just kind of analyzing it. We had 3, of course, we moved all the sub rates to above 10 to 12 or more per hour. And then we still had staff here that was making less than $10 an hour on our steps. And I'm just like, I don't want anybody at Bloomfield making less than $10 an hour. And, you know, eventually we want that to continue to go up, obviously, but, right now, these were the three, groups that were making $10 an hour. We're pushing that up to $10 an hour. Instructional assistants, media center, instructional assistant, AEP supervisor, instructional assistant in the classroom.
Any questions or comments? All right, have a motion, please? All right, and a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Okay. And then proposal to include MLK and Good Friday as holidays for the 12-month employees?
Yeah, with our new calendar, MLK, Martin Luther King Day is a day off for the students and teachers. And then Good Friday is too with the new calendar. And so 12-month employees, that was a day they were still going to work or take a vacation day, asking if that can be added to the paid holidays for 12-month employees, which is 10 employees at Bloomfield.
Questions or comments? Okay, we have a recommendation. Can I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Sure, and a second? Okay, thank you. All in favor? All right, thank you. And proposed 22-23 school calendar.
Yes, the 22-23 calendar, we did a vote with students, parents, and faculty, staff, and 58% did not want to change to the current calendar. And so we're just keeping corresponding dates. I do want to comment on the survey. We had the wrong date on the spring break. It was the third week of March, but if we're going to keep it corresponding, and what Bloomfield has always done to match WRV and Linton, it's actually the next week, but that it looked like corresponding should have been that week, but then when we actually did the calendar, we always did the last full week, and this is the way the days fell. It's actually the next week was actually a full week, but that's in line with White River Valley and Linton. I've already checked with the teachers meeting on that. They said, yes, we wanted that last full week to match WRV and Linton. So it's a slight change from the survey, but it's what we have done and what people are expecting on that last week of March, last full week of March. I wanted to note that, so.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? All right, we have a recommendation then. Can I have a motion?
Move we approve.
All right, and a second? All right, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now for the teacher appreciation grant.
Yeah, Teachers Appreciation Grant is from the state, Department of Education. When they went to evaluating teachers highly effective, needs improvement, or ineffective, they created a grant called the Teachers Appreciation Grant, where highly effective teachers have to make, highly effective and effective teachers get a stipend from this Teachers Appreciation Grant. If your needs improvement or ineffective, you do not get this stipend. And highly effective teachers have to get 25% more than the effective teachers. So those are the 4 categories of ratings for teachers, and the top 2 ratings get a stipend. And so the breakdown of the stipends listed there for highly effective and effective teachers is asking to approve that.
All right. Any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you. Now, stipend for the principals?
Yes, and so it is customary for many schools to also provide that same stipend for the principals that work in the building, educating the kids. That cannot come from the TAG grant though, so we're asking that there for a stipend for them as well from the education fund.
All right.
Equivalent to what the teachers get at the category that they are.
And any questions or comments? All right, and do I have a motion?
Move we approve.
Okay, and a second? All right, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now here at the end of the year, seeking permission to pay late arriving bills.
Yes, yes, so every year, bills come in at the end, they were 2021 bills, and we're just asking, even if it's 22, if it was a 21 bill, that we could pay it from the 21 fund, so it doesn't take from our 22 budget. So we just put that as an approval.
And any questions or comments? Okay, and do I have a motion? All right, and a second? All right, thank you. All in favor? All right. And second review of the return to in-person instruction plan.
Yeah, so for ESSER 3, they have, that's a, federal grant, and they have guidelines for us that we're supposed to follow for receiving that money. And it's a significant amount of money, so we want to try to follow this the best we can. And, but for this and ESSER 3, they want you to review every 6 months your in-person instructional plan. So our team got together, we looked at it, we feel the one that's posted on our website is still appropriate in our current situation.
All right. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I do. Just since it was raised, the question was raised, but I know the way that we've been doing our quarantines and stuff like that would be in school and everything. What do we know about what North Davies is doing in WRB? I know that
So I actually messaged North Davies while we were here because I have family that works in the school. And her response is that they are contact tracing. They are requiring the contact tracing and the quarantining if you're within the 3 feet without a mask on. So that was her response. I don't know about WRB, and have we looked into how they're doing that if they're not? Would be my question.
I don't really want, I'll just tell you from our perspective, we started the year the first week only quarantining symptomatic people. We thought in the July, when they had loosened it in the summer, that was still allowed. And we got called out for it that first week. And I investigated, looked deeper at the governor's executive orders in August. And in July, it did not say this, but in August, it said you have to follow the quarantine guidelines set forward by the state. It was an executive order. And so that's what we've been following, and he has not changed that executive order. I cannot speak for this. I know there's schools that aren't following it. We, as a committee, are not comfortable ignoring the executive orders of our governor. And so we have continued to follow the quarantine guidelines. Other schools are comfortable with that or have not been called out by their health department. Why? I can't answer that, but I know we got called out first week and we didn't follow it, and we are not comfortable ignoring the executive orders of our governor.
So they're in different counties, so their county health departments may not be as.
WRB's in our county health, so
True, but North.
From what I'm understanding is what North Davies is doing is what I was told. Now, whether they're being, here's my thought on it. I don't think anybody likes this, but I think when it comes down to it, it's gonna come down to Nurse Renee. It's gonna fall on her shoulders, and I'm not meaning to throw her under the bus, but I don't think that's fair to her. She's got a nursing license. And there may be other schools that don't care, but, or maybe they do, I don't know, but I just kind of feel like, she's on the committee, and I feel
Sure.
like I would trust what you guys are saying as the committee, and if that's what the governor's executive order is, then I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to fall on her shoulders if she's not doing what she is supposed to be doing. So that's kind of my thought on it. Not that I like it, but.
Oh, everybody has opinions.
Right, I mean,
And they're all over the place, but yeah, I mean, that's our team, we've done that from the beginning. We felt like we needed to follow.
So if it's an
They give
executive
you
order.
flexibility with the masks. They give you some of that flexibility. The quarantine has been, for this year, that has been the issue. The executive order is that we've got to follow the quarantine guidelines. And so we've done that. And when we've gone to mass, it's because we're starting to push 100 kids out of school because of the quarantine guidelines.
And what is the percentage is, I can't remember, and you may not, I know those are off the top of your head, is there a certain percentage that if you have so many quarantined that they're going to be, school will shut down?
No,
Is that not it?
that's only
Sick
if
kids.
one type of sickness,
Okay,
the health department shuts you down.
20%.
If you're, well, there's not an exact number, but if they start talking about it around 20%, that's only for one specific virus.
okay,
Does not apply to quarantines.
okay.
Quarantines is just us saying, kids need to be in school, that we want them in person. And you get too many quarantines, and you start thinking about virtual learning and we, we've been through that and, we grew at that and got better, but we still believe in-person learning is the best. So our cases are starting to rise, and we're starting to worry that we're gonna get triple digits in quarantine. We're probably gonna consider going back to mass largely, as we said, I don't know if it was last month or 2 months ago, because we're not comfortable ignoring the executive orders of the governor, and we're required to follow those quarantine guidelines, and it takes kids out of school. So we're wearing the mask largely to keep kids in school when our numbers get high in quarantine.
What were our numbers this week? Did you?
Yeah, we had 6 cases and about 60 quarantine something.
Better than.
We just thought we'd finish its break and then reevaluate when we get back from break. Wednesdays is the day the state comes out with the colors and the numbers. And so we just wait till Wednesday to look at that.
All right, any further questions or comments? All right, then do we have a motion to approve?
I'll motion we approve it.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you. And now the Bloomfield Eastern Green Public Library Board appointment.
Yeah, our public library here, they asked that someone from the school district represent the school and be a part of that library board member. Christy Bladen was on it for many years, I think 15 years or so, and Candace Patterson was on it. And then she can't do it now. And so we kind of asked around, and Jessica was a part of that asking, and she said, you know what? I think I'll do it. So Jessica stepped up and said, oh, we're asking for her approval.
As quick as our.
Exactly. So any questions or comments? All right, do I have a motion? All right, and a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? All right, now proposal for newly titled position.
Yes, so we understand this is just approval for a position, a new position name that we haven't had. This is not filling the position. We will bring someone in January, possibly. We are kind of looking at kind of a really job where I came from. It was 3 different jobs: head of custodian, there's a transportation director, and a maintenance director. We have had the same person do that, and it's a very demanding job. So we are looking at possibly hiring another person or within to divvy out those jobs in a better way, so it's not all on one person, if that makes sense. So this is, you can really post anything you want, but you don't have to fill them. We got a lot of ECA positions that don't get filled. We may not end up filling it exactly as this, but I want to, we posted this because we need to fill it. I just want approval of this position if this ends up being exactly how we want it. I don't know if that makes sense, but these are the 2 areas that we're looking for someone to take: head custodian and transportation director.
All right, any questions or comments? All right. Seeing none, do I have a motion? All right, and a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you. Now, on to reports, superintendent report.
Yeah, so really, the principals just do an outstanding job of just summarizing everything in the buildings. Winifred did a great job with the construction project, and we've already kind of just discussed COVID just a little bit. Those are large areas from my standpoint. I guess the other thing I want to point out is we're in that season of weather delays and cancellations. And just my process is use that school messenger. That's the quickest way out of text to get that to everybody. And then I go to, when Jessica gets that, she posts it on the district Facebook page and in our website. And she, everybody gets that at the same time. So his parents, a lot of times know it just as soon as the principals know it. And I do that with the transportation director and some strategically located bus drivers, different regions of our area. And so just wanted to point that out. School Messenger is the quickest message. Online, Facebook is next. And then I call the TV and radio station. So you know how that process works a little bit, because could happen anytime that time of year. So.
Okay, thank you. And now, do we have any board member comments and items for future agendas? Seeing none, our future meetings, our next meeting will be the Reorganization and Finance meeting on January the 6th at 7 p.m. And then our regular scheduled board meetings are going to be January the 27th and February the 24th. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.